It looks like the new Pokemon set Prismatic Evolution will have all the evolutions available inside, just like Evolving Skies, and it will also have this feature that we only got in 151, which is the reverse Pokeball and Master Ball holos. All the regular holo and EX version of the evolutions have been leaked, and you will see them on the screen right now. They look pretty good, but I have to say that I understand all these people that are complaining about the terrestrialized thing. I'm a bit tired of it too. We don't really like this. I understand that older people don't like this because it's a new feature, but they are evolutions after all, so we'll have to live with it. Now, most Pokemon fans, we have been waiting for this Evolving Skies 2.0 thing for a lot of years. It's been more than 3 years now, and I understand all the hype this set has, but you have to understand that this will come with bad consequences too. I'm pretty sure you will already know, but the Pokemon Center ETBs from the Pokemon Center store just ran out. Like, they run a pre-sale and it just ran out of stock in 10 hours. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. It happened also with Surging Sparks. The thing that the set on release is selling at retail and it's selling out at retail price is absolutely crazy. Surging Sparks is a whole new video. We'll talk about that in another video. But you have to think that booster boxes now are 160, which is pretty expensive, and they're just running out. They're sold out on the Pokemon Center website, so that's pretty crazy too. Now, with this set, this is a 60 bucks ETV because it's the Pokemon Center version, and it's already sold out. That gives bad vibes, and that comes back to 2021, where people were just scalping the product. There was not enough supply for the demand that was. By the way, guys, don't forget to enter the Lost Origin Booster Box giveaway I'm doing at 6,000 subscribers. The only requirements to enter are to be subscribed, leave a like on the video, and leave a comment down below. It's completely free. It looks like we're coming back, and we had a bull market for a while now, but it looks so strong right now that it reminds me of the 2021 era. I don't know if some of you were around where Champions Path. That was a crazy situation. It was a specialty set. It featured Charizard. It's not a great set, honestly, but the demand there was so big. There were so many people chasing for Charizards because, I don't know, I know you don't want me to call the Logan Paul era, but it was an era where Logan Paul is one of the bigger ones, but a lot of influencers, YouTubers, and whatever just run into the hobby, and that bring a lot of people in. And they had a hard time managing supply and demand there. There were a lot of scalpers who just bought ETVs and then for $40 and then sending them for 80 to 100 to 150. In Europe, Champions Path was absolutely crazy. And this reminds me of that era. And honestly, yes, the set is so good, but that's a negative thing for the community. I'm hoping the Pokemon Company steps in here and tries to make print run adjusting to the new sets. If the new sets are more demand, I'm up for more prints. Even if I have sealed product of any set, and that will grow, it will grow up like much faster if they don't do reprints. I understand that this is a hobby and everyone deserves their chance. Everyone deserves to have some of the product if they want to, at least at release. Like, I understand they don't reprint the product for 2.5 years, but man, I think everyone needs their chance to just grab some ETBs or Pokemon Center ETBs. I think they were capped at 2 per person, so it's pretty crazy that they run out that fast, but it just happened, so it is what it is. Now, I expect when the regular ETVs come out, this set is coming out, by the way, at middle of January, 17th of January, if I'm not wrong. Now, regular ETVs will come. I've talked with my distributors and different stores. I can tell you, in Europe, the pre-demand, like the pre-sale stuff is crazy. Everyone is just pre-ordering this stuff. I've heard Pokin had the same problem, that he just sold out 300 boxes, ETBs, sorry. And he's not even sure if he can get that much amount of boxes just to please everyone. And I completely understand that. I just want to tell you that in Europe, this is happening too. The situation is pretty crazy. So same thing, when Surging Sparks was announced, I told you guys that I didn't expect this, honestly. I expected a lot of demand and I expected the price to go up a bit, but not this much. I see Surging Sparks selling for 140, 150, 160 on TCG Player 2 on eBay, like pre-selling. This stuff is crazy. So my recommendation is, if you can pre-order some ETVs, even if you have to pay a bit of premium, I would just make sure to grab them now and just not wait, because I can see this happening with a new set too. Honestly, Surging Sparks is crazy, but this set looks, I wouldn't say even better, because it's not a main set, we don't have booster boxes and stuff, but this specialty set looks crazy, just like 151. And honestly, the demand will be, I would say it will be even higher than with Surging Sparks. Evolving Skies is the best set we had in almost a decade. Let's be real, like it's the best set we have in a long time, and this is the closest 2.0 version that they will do. So I recommend just at this time pre-order ETBs where you can. If you can spend the money, of course, don't go overhead. Don't get in debt for this, because we don't know what will happen. Maybe we pre-order and then the Pokemon company just steps in and say, okay, we're gonna do like a bigger print or a reprint or multiple reprints. I'm almost certain that they will do this, but I don't know how they will exactly handle this situation. This is a really hard situation to handle, but I have big expectations of the Pokemon company, so I'm pretty sure they will do well. Now, another thing we have to understand is that we were in a pretty long bear market, I would say, about 2 years or so, maybe 1.5 years, and the beginning of a Scarlet and Violet era was so rejected by almost everyone. So I feel like there's a lot of people in the hobby that was just waiting for these crazy sets to happen. And let's be real, like first Scarlet and Violet sets are okay, but they are not crazy until Temporal Forces, like this Terrapagos set, like Stellar Crown, they're not crazy. Let's face it, like they are not super big sets. They're okay sets. Like we have a lot of illustration rares, we have a lot of depth. We have discussed this 100 times on the channel. But what I see now is that with Surging Sparks and this new set, like the demand is so high because a lot of people were just waiting for, well, when will the next Evolving Skies be? I understand that hype thing. And all I can tell you guys is that this is pretty simple. Desire and demand and goes up and supplies goes down. Like that's pretty simple. I think the Pokemon company should do like a public announce that they will reprint the set. And this is just to avoid scalpers, honestly, because you see with sealed collectors, investors and single collectors, like all of these people just buy the product, and that's okay. If you want to keep it sealed, if you want to open it, that's completely okay. But you know, when you see all these scalpers that are just taking advantage of people who couldn't get their products and buying ETBs for 40, selling them for 100, like that's just not fair for the people who don't have access to these products. And yeah, like I said before, I think everybody deserves a fair chance. So I hope the Pokemon company steps in or does a larger print, whatever it takes, but I hope they do. Now, before talking about what I think will happen on the long run, in the future, in the following years, I want to talk to you guys about something important, and it's that please don't blame stores or the market. Like they can have a clue when this will happen. If they charge you extra for the products, like I'm honestly, between you and me, they deserve this. Like I talk to a lot of store owners here in Europe, and I know in the US too, like they are making like from $2 to $5 per box, 2 to 5 euros or dollars per box. Like that is just insane, and the amount of work behind this is a lot of work. So if Pokemon releases a good set and they can sell Surging Sparks here in Europe for $120, $130, $140, and people just buys it, honestly, don't blame on them, because you're not overpaying for the set, because the set is actually that price. Like you cannot expect stores to have the same price for a set that is no desired at all, or a set that is super desired. So don't blame on them, and also don't blame on the market. Like the market works pretty simply. Like it's no rocket science. This, like if the demand goes that much up, the supply goes down, and the supply goes down a lot, and that's why people just pay a premium. That's completely fine. Honestly, you can hate it, you can hate this era and get back to the $100. Sure, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. The future sets look crazy too, so I think we will have this ball run or ball market for a long time. I think 2025 will be a crazy year for Pokemon, and yeah, just don't blame it on them. And I see these sets will have insane growth in the future. And there's a couple of reasons for this, and I don't know if they will get to the level of Evolving Skies, because that was pretty crazy. And honestly, Evolving Skies has outperformed like most of the assets available, not just collectibles, just like stocks. And honestly, I think Evolving Skies outperform Nvidia, which is like the hottest stock right now. So I don't know if it will be that level, but I can honestly tell you, and of course there's no certain way to predict, but my personal prediction is that they will perform better than most Sun and Moon era sets and most Sword and Shield sets. The reason is pretty simple. Like, these two eras are great. Sword and Shield is a great era. The Altered idea is super crazy, but we have fun sets to open now. Opening Sword and Shield is not that fun. If you don't get the chase card, or the 2 or the 3 or the 4 chase cards, you get nothing. And this doesn't happen with Scarlet and Violet. And what we're seeing now is that Surging Sparks is having like, we'll have like from 3 to 5 chase cards, like big chase cards. And then it will have a lot of depth. It will have a lot of illustration rares, of good Pokemon and well-designed cards too. Because you see a lot of the V cards from the Sword and Shield era were super basic, like were vague. And I think this is a great opportunity for Scarlet and Violet to shine, because we already have better depth than the last 2 or actually 3 eras. But what we were lacking was these amazing chase cards, like the Greninja, like these big chase cards. And look at Twilight Masquerade, it's performing super well because we have the Greninja, we have a couple of AV tier chase cards behind, and then we have a lot of depth. We have illustration rares, but total set value is far better than some of the Sword and Shield big sets like Lost Origin, for example. So I think they will perform really better than this. Of course, we will have, I'm expecting this set to get printed more than Sun and Moon era, that the hobby was not that big and stuff. But anyways, I can predict these boxes and sealed product to perform really well. And I think singles will do too. When sealed product is expensive, like, you know, singles have to be expensive because they charge you more per booster box or per elite trainer box that you are actually opening, and that gets a premium on the single cards too. And the last thing I want to say before ending the video is that what this means is that now we have a good product that is super desired. What happened in 2021 is that a lot of products were super desired, but they were not great. Champion's Path is not a good set. Like, I understand it has 2 main Charizard chase cards, that's the fun, yes, but the depth of the set, like Champion's Path is not even close to be as good as Crown Zenith. It's just how it is. Like, Crown Zenith has a lot of more detail, more pulls, better pull rates, more fun to open, a lot of depth. I understand it doesn't have like this super $400 chase card, but it's just a better set. And my opinion is that if we can, let's say, combine all these things and have a great set that is super desirable, that has chase cards, that has depth, and that it's actually well designed, like it's a, let's say, 2 to 5 to 6, 7 chase card set with all these illustration rares behind, like if we can get to these 30, 40 cards for more than $5, that makes actually like the set is actually fun to open for the people. Man, I think we will win the game with this. Yeah, like the Pokemon Company would just eat the collectible world like this. And with Magic is serialized cards, which has worked really better for them. But I think like the Pokemon formula works really well. And I think that at the beginning of Scarlet and Violet, we just didn't have this formula completed. Like, we didn't have the chase cards. That's it. And maybe the pull rates were too easy, like Obsidian Flames, possibly, because the Twilight Masquerade situation worked really well. The Greninja is super hard to pull, and the box is performing super well. I've seen sales for $180 for Twilight Masquerade, which is a super new set. Like, that set is like, what? That's months old. Like, I think they have the formula. I think they weren't like accomplishing that at the beginning of Scarlet and Violet, but I think now they just, man, this is just it. These sets are just it. I expect phenomenal growth for both single and sealed products. I'm ending the video here, but guys, just take this. Don't expect these ETVs or, I mean, Pokemon Center ETVs are almost impossible to get, as I see. I live in Europe, so I'm not really super following that market. But for booster boxes of Surging Sparks, they're super hard to get here for cheap. People are paying extremely premium prices. And this will also happen with the new Eevee set, Prismatic Evolution. So just, guys, if you can pre-order some, if you have money available, just pre-order some. These are great sets. I honestly even would recommend to sell some of your sealed product or single cards to do this, because I really see that these sets are the best ones of Scarlet and Violet. Like, respecting 151, 151 was absolutely amazing. But from the main sets, I see Surging Sparks is really the best set of Scarlet and Violet. And this looks like it can compete, like an Evolution set can compete with 151. So we already seen what happened with 151, so we can learn from that, I guess. And yeah, don't take my word for granted, but if you can pre-order some at a reasonable price, don't pay like 80 to 100, like don't buy to these scalpers on the secondary market, like try to go from official stores or distributors. And yep, that's about it. Hope you liked the video, and as always, have a great day.